welcome to all you Aries people. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for July 2014. Now I hope you're doing well with the Mars in your 7th house, with the Mars in the house of your opposite sign, in the house of other people. So probably a lot of Aries people have learned to understand other people better, and I also have learned that in relationships that it is sometimes a bit of a struggle in order for us to get into the balance. And because Aries is a sign, or anyone who has planets in Aries has that challenge with what I want versus what you want, what I am versus what you are. To mingle that, especially when you've got the moon or Venus in Aries, it's not so easy because you always feel as you are neglecting a part of yourself. And with Mars in the 7th house, that was not easy for you. But now Mars is for the whole month going very fastly forward, so it has a bit more tempo now. For being there for so long in your 7th house, there must have been shifts in relationships, and you have probably and hopefully come to the conclusions that you do need to work with other people. With work with other people, I mean you do need to have some sort of balance. You can't just do things on your own. You need others to do that, but you can't just also neglect yourself. So it's that balance that you've been doing for quite a while. And this is good. It is now going into your 8th house at the end of the month, around 27th, which has a totally different energy. But I'll talk about that in August. So Mars shifting into the 8th house on the very end of the month shows that you are going deeper, that you are going to explore a bit more on maybe a psychological level about who you are and what your battles are, because that is the moment to battle your fears, battle your battles, and so on. But that's for next month. Now, the most important thing, of course, that is happening now is that Jupiter goes into another sign as from the 17th. And it's going into a fellow fire sign, Aries, which is very nice for Leo, which is very nice for everyone who has some planets or a planet in Aries, because Jupiter is going to make a trine with your sign, which is very nice. It means if it's your sun sign, it's maybe work. If it's your moon sign, work and progress there. When it's your moon sign or your Venus, it more has to do with love, it more has to do with your emotional stability. And when it's Mars and Jupiter trining that, it means that you're going to have a lot more confidence. So this Jupiter, in whatever house it actually is transiting, is going to give you more of its opportunities, because it's now in a fellow fire sign. And it has been in your 4th house for a whole year, which is also good, which is also nice. If you have Jupiter in the 4th house, it means that you have found yourself more. You have discovered yourself more. You have discovered more about who you are and where you come from, and indirectly where you're heading at. It's kind of a deep house, the 4th house, but it certainly means that you are gaining progress when it comes to maybe your own house, literally. So maybe expansion there, or feeling better at home, or having more peace at home. But now, as I said, around the middle of the month it shifts into a very pleasant 5th house. 5th house is the most pleasant house there is, because it's the house of play, it's the house of Leo, actually associated with Leo, and you're going to have the benefic of Jupiter there, so you're going to have expansion there. Whatever Jupiter transits means this is growth, this is expansion, it's doing something good. So Jupiter is doing something good in a very hard way, in a heartly, I mean, you know, your heart is going to be touched. So if you are single, it's a fantastic moment to meet someone. You know, you're going to have not only July, but you're going to have this for a year. Jupiter in the 5th house means it's a house of romance, it's a house of sexuality, it's a house where the romance and the relationship starts. The 7th house is when it gets a bit more serious, but the 5th house is where it all starts, so having some fun. If you are in a relationship, it can mean that you will feel more creative than ever, that you feel the ability to express yourself in a very Aries way, in a very fiery way, which is honest, which is open, which is without barriers. With expressing yourself with barriers is an impossibility to do almost. So you will have that if you are an Aries person who has been having a rough time lately when it comes to not being able to show who you are, not being able to express yourself, maybe at work you have been doing things that are not really you, or maybe in a relationship, now is the time that you have the opportunity to have fun. And Aries people do like that because it's a fire sign, it's a very outgoing sign. So I know that some Aries people have a lot of introverted configurations of their planets and are probably not so extroverted, but there is an opportunity now to feel freer and to feel more open and to show your heart and actually enjoying that. So without thinking, oh, I'm not going to do any good here. So whatever it is, if you want to start a new business, for instance, it's also good to have Jupiter in your 5th house, because the 5th house is your creativity. It's the projects that you launch. So you can have some benefits in there as well. And you put in your heart there. You put in your heart in your romance, in your relationships, also in your relationship with your children. So you can have, with Jupiter there in the 5th house, if you've had maybe some problems with your children or having a hard time with them, Jupiter in the 5th can give you a break from that and can give you the opportunity to smooth things out, and to you can teach your children, or your children can teach you something that you think, oh, this is really worthwhile, I'm really enjoying my kids. Jupiter is a very benefic, it's a very positive planet, and the 5th house is a very positive house. So it's double whammy, as they say. So enjoy it, you Aries people. You deserve it. After all that hard work in the 7th house, you deserve a bit of playfulness, and you deserve to be able to express yourself. Now, what else is going on? Mercury is going direct again around the 2nd of July, so the very beginning of the month. There is Mercury going back into, going from the Mercury ruled sign of Gemini, and it will transit into Cancer on the 19th. So you are Aries, so Cancer is your 4th house. It means that your thoughts will still, especially around the middle of the month, will still be around how you can improve your communication at home or with family members, with parents, with ancestors, how you can, again, it's a bit of a last piece before Jupiter goes out of the 4th house of understanding what you're all about. So that this is a bit ongoing for the whole month actually. So a very nice, by the way, there's going to be a new moon as well in Leo on the 26th. So in that 5th house. So if you have planets around 3 degrees of Aries, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, it is a new beginning, absolutely, when it comes to, so Aries people who are born, let's say around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th of March. So the very early Aries people are really going to benefit from that new moon there. Anyway, have a good time, you Aries people, enjoy, because that's Jupiter in Leo. It's about enjoyment and expansion when it comes to enjoying yourself. And have a good time, and see you next month. Thanks for watching. And if you want a reading, get in touch. All the information is under this video below. Bye bye.